I am telling this story exactly as I heard it from the person himself. The time was during the month of Ramadan in 2006. My name is Richard Akbar, and I worked as a rickshaw puller. I would fast all day and pedal my rickshaw until I was completely exhausted, then return to our colony before iftar. In my life, I had heard countless stories about ghosts and spirits, but I had never seen one myself, so I never really believed. But after witnessing this incident with my own eyes, I became certain that spirits do exist. Let me tell you what happened. That day, after eating sahur, I was about to leave with my rickshaw when my wife called from behind, saying, "The sky doesn't look good today, don't go." But what could I do? I was a rickshaw driver, storm or no storm, I had to go out to earn a living. My heart didn't feel right, but still I took my rickshaw and left. When I reached near the marketplace, a tall religious-looking man, dressed like a preacher, got onto my rickshaw. When I asked where he wanted to go, he didn't say much, just, "Very far." "Will you go?" I nodded. As long as he paid, I was ready to go anywhere. From that morning on, I kept pedaling for hours, taking him further and further, with no sign of stopping. Finally, out of frustration, I turned around and asked, "Sir, where exactly are you going?" He opened his eyes wide, which glowed red, and said, "I told you it's far. Once you go down this road, there's no turning back." I didn't say anything more and kept pedaling. From behind, I could hear him reciting prayers, zikr, and Quran in a soft, delicate voice. It was so sweet, like honey, that in all my 32 years I had never heard recitation that beautiful. My exhaustion vanished, and I pedaled faster and faster. By the time the noon adhan was called, he asked me to stop at a mosque. We both performed ablution and joined the prayer. The mosque was unusually crowded, filled with tall men in white robes, unlike any congregation I had ever seen. The man I was carrying was invited to lead the prayer, and he did. I stood all the way at the back. During the prayer, I felt completely absorbed, as though I was floating in peace. After prayer, he got back on the rickshaw. The only words I heard him say were, "There is no peace greater than prayer." Then I kept pedaling as he instructed me which way to go at different turns. As afternoon turned to evening, my body felt like it was breaking apart. Finally, he told me to stop. But this time, I noticed there were no roads, just open fields stretching endlessly. At the southern edge of the field was a narrow canal. He got off and said, "Stay here. I'll be back. But no matter what happens, don't follow me." I asked, "But where are you going?" "There's nothing here." He just motioned with his hand for me to wait, then walked away. The farther he went, the larger he seemed to grow, until I could no longer see him. 20 or 30 minutes passed. He never came back. I began to feel afraid, left alone in the middle of nowhere with my rickshaw, the sun setting, hunger and fear closing in on me. Finally, I decided maybe he wasn't returning. I thought I'd find a mosque, break my fast there, and spend the night. But no mosque, no people, just empty fields. By the time evening came, it was iftar. Out of thirst, I went toward the canal to drink some water. And that's when I saw the strangest, most terrifying sight of my life. There he was, the preacher, standing on the surface of the water. With him were 4 women, each wearing burqas in different colors: red, blue, white, and black. He was handing them what looked like market bags, though I couldn't tell exactly what they contained. When the women noticed me watching, they suddenly transformed into enormous snakes slithering toward me. The preacher turned around, his face grotesque and terrifying, his legs elongated unnaturally as he strode in my direction. At that very moment, I lost consciousness and collapsed. The next morning, when I opened my eyes, I found myself lying in my own house. My daughter was shouting, "Mom, Dad has woken up." Neighbors had gathered around, amazed that I had been unconscious for 3 whole days. I asked my wife, "How did I get here?" She said it was her brother, Michael, who had brought me home. He drove cars in another city and had gone to a mosque for the dawn prayer, where he found me lying unconscious. Nobody knew who had left me there. What surprised me most was this: when I had left my home after sahur, my pockets were completely empty. But when Michael found me, my pockets were filled with nearly $12,000. Later, a respected religious leader heard my story and said, "That wasn't an ordinary man, it was a powerful jinn, perhaps even a king of the jinn. He wouldn't have harmed you, but since you saw his private affairs, he showed you a terrifying form. The women you saw were his wives or relatives from among the jinn." From that day onward, I quit rickshaw pulling. With the money the jinn had left, I started a small diner. Today, that small diner has grown into one of the most famous restaurants in Chicago, Illinois. Alhamdulillah.